Welcome back to Z Grill's Taste the Smoke. Of course, my name is Tommy, and I will be your host on over here today. Today's show is going to be a little bit different, a little recipe oriented, and it is going to be all about the beef back ribs. But I am talking beef back ribs with a little bit of a spin and a little bit of a twist. So look, what I want to do here, I've got the beef back ribs here on the board. I'm going to show you how I prep this out. And after that, we will head on back over to my Z, get that fired up. And I am going to show you how the Z grills can maintain that constant temperature, perfect for a backyard party, hence the party ribs, while you can go about your day and set everything up and you don't have to worry about the Z, as the Z is definitely going to have your back. Now let's turn our attention down to the board and let's get these party ribs all prepped up.
If you've ever seen these beef back ribs in your local market, I would definitely say to pick them up and give this a shot. $20 to $23 for 2 racks of beef back ribs. I mean, they are on par flavor-wise with the dino ribs. You're just not going to get as much meat. That said, this recipe here is going to build crust on 3 sides, so it is something you are going to want to try. And the first thing we want to do is get them all dried off with a paper towel. You want to look them over. Usually there's nothing to trim off of these, but if there's anything dangling, take it off. As far as that back membrane, you can leave it on, or you can leave it on and score it, or you can remove it. It really doesn't matter for a recipe like this. On a dino rib, you are going to leave it on to keep the ribs together. Again, here we are separating them, so it doesn't really matter. Once you get these ribs all dried off, all cleaned up, all separated, it is now time to grab your rub. I am going to go with a Grill Sergeant meat rub for anything. I mean, this rub goes great on pork, on chicken, on beef. It has a nice salt content. I absolutely love it. But grab your favorite rub and go to town. Once you get these ribs all rubbed down, you're going to want to get a wire rack. It is just more simple that way to control it in the pit.
Alrighty, and that is going to be all the prep that is needed on these beefed out party ribs. And let's get back on over to my Z and let's get that fired up. All right, so look, that is basically all there is to it. The ribs are on. Again, it'll hold that constant temperature of 275 Fahrenheit. That is going to allow me to do what I need to do around the house. And as you notice, I did put a tin under there. That is a little bit of a trick that's coming up in a little bit. You will see that. That is not there just to keep the grill clean. Other than that, I'll see you guys in about 2 hours. Alrighty, so look, we are right at that 2-hour mark. One thing about party ribs, if you have never done them before, you are going to get crust on 3 sides of the rib. So if you did a full rack of ribs, you're really only going to get crust on the top, right? But the party rib, we are going to develop a crust on 3 sides of the ribs. More crust means more flavor, and these ribs are looking good, so we are going to spritz them down. And you can see a quick temperature check tells us that we are about 150, 155. That is perfect. 2 hours in, shut it down, allow the pit to continue to go at that 250 to 275, and I'll see you guys in 1 more hour.
If you are tired of the same old baked beans, this is a little bit of a trick here, and we are about to jack them up. Of course, we've got some good grease from the ribs. That is a lot of flavor. We are going to hit it with about a half onion or so. I've got some kosher salt. I've got some granulated garlic. I've got some black pepper. I mean, put anything in there that you like. Give them a mix up, and in goes the baked beans. Now, look, you want to do this when the ribs are about 15, 20 minutes away from cooking. Get them back underneath the ribs for a little bit of added juice, a little bit of added flavor. We will allow this go for another, it looks like about another 10, 15 minutes or so. We are already up to 190. I mean, this is a quick cook, and I am super pumped for the outcome. Yeah.
If you like them crusty and you like them barky, you are absolutely gonna love these. This one's gonna come in right at about 3 hours and 20 minutes. Let's go on in, let's check them out. I'm gonna move them to the board here, get it all set up, and I'll bring you guys back. What could I say? No fuss, no muss. Beef rib platter with some custom out, some jacked out baked beans. And I got to tell you, before we dive into this, first of all, I love a Bush's baked bean, but you got to season it up. A little bit of the drippings off from the beef ribs, some garlic powder, some kosher salt, and black pepper is all it takes. All that flavor mixed up in there is absolutely incredible. I know it because I've been hitting it ever since I took these off the pit, and I've got it all set up here. The only thing I'd probably do different maybe is sprinkle some green around. I didn't have any. That just adds a little bit of color. The beans are incredible. The ribs are gonna be incredible, but let's start with the beans. Guys, the beans are, 10 out of 10. They are so good. Maybe I would add a pinch of like a cayenne pepper or something in there just to give them a little bit of heat. Other than that, they're absolutely perfect. Let's go on in and grab a nice beef rib. And here we go. We're going to start out with this one. And like I said, you're going to get a lot of bark. That's the one thing I love about when I do the party ribs with pork ribs. You just get you get so much bark on it, and I love the bark. I love the flavor. It's nice and crunchy, salty. These are going to be incredible. Let's taste test it. I told you, absolutely incredible. So look, you're gonna get, like I said, you're gonna get the crust, you're gonna get the bark. You know the bark is absolutely incredible. You're gonna get a nice salt content. The rub I put on has a lot of flavor, and that is just gonna gel in with the bark. Like I said, if you like bark, you are absolutely gonna love party ribs. So look, that is gonna put a pin in the show. Remember that Z Grills is going to have this full written recipe right down in the description. Just follow that link, take it on over to the website. You can copy down or print out exactly what you need. And while you're at it, do not forget to follow their web page. Also the YouTube channel, the Instagram channel, the Facebook channel. You follow all of them, and Z Grills will have you smoking, have you grilling all year long. My name is Tommy. Now the only thing I need you guys to do is to get outside, fire up those Z Grills so you also could taste the smoke. That is all I have for you today. And until next time, we will see you soon.